But we'll put it on the record.
For the next hour, sit quietly and we will control all that you see and hear. You are about to participate in a great adventure.
Hello, I'm calling in behalf of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
We're looking at efforts across the country to prevent people from being able to exercise their fundamental rights.
I'm just glad my murdered parents aren't allowed to see this.
They lined up and gave themselves AIDS, and they did it for free. That's what's really funny to me.
These young motherfuckers would have taken red pills and ganked them years ago.
Boys are boys from the beginning.
Don't bother us.
Who do you think you are? We don't even listen to you, but it's on the record.
Have you all noticed that food has become much more expensive? That shelter has become much more expensive? That energy is more expensive? That many consumer goods are simply unavailable? Can you not see that this is going to get worse?
It's the Roman circus.
Our mutual friend James Corbett put this out at the very beginning in his 4-part Bill Gates documentary series.
Fuck that jab, and fuck y'all for trying to make me get it.
RBL on the wheels of steel.
Mimicking his movements from my cage.
There goes Recycle Bin Laden. He is in West by God.
It's on the record.
Hey, is this thing on? Hey! Hello. I'd say good morning, but it's like almost 2 p.m. I'm here in beautiful, mountainous West by God, Virginia. Your boy, Recycle Bin Laden. And I didn't want to give up. You could never give up, right? I'm not going to give up on my little on-the-record thing. And I'm going to bring it to YouTube. Maybe somebody will watch it. We put a record on. Click, click. I need a mouse that doesn't click and is not right next to the mic. That would be smart, but we don't do that here. We do a little bit of smart. Like, getting the news is bad for you. Like, I understand why normies don't want to hear that shit. You know, you try to tell them that fluoride's gonna lower their daughter's IQ, they get a little bit mad. You're complicating my life, bud. I thought I was a good dad already. Now I got more shit to worry about. Well, the blood pressure goes up. You know, you get a little vein. Your blood pressure goes up. Your stress levels. The stress hormone, cortisol, is produced. And that's just getting some bad news, right? Well, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to give you the bad news, but in a good way. Let me explain. You see, music is very therapeutic. Let's learn together, shall we? We go to the National Library of Medicine. Cortisol levels reduced from listening to music. We've got, I think, multiple studies being referenced here. Music's capable of evoking strong, positive emotion, elevating the mood of individuals. These effects can potentially be used in clinical settings in which negative emotions, such as pain and anxiety, often reduce an individual's subjective well-being and call for the application of anxiolytic, analgesic, and anesthetic drugs. But music has been reported to reduce stress. They're going into it. Colonoscopy. This is the weeds we're down in. We just want to know what they came up with here. They did serum samples, so they took blood and they checked for the hormone, cortisol. So yeah, music helps with your stress levels. That's a lot of reading there. Okay. Here's another one. Music lowers your blood pressure. Predictable musical phrases found to regulate blood pressure. All right, maybe not all music's gonna lower your blood pressure, but it's looking like music is healthy. What's this shit? Music supercharges the brain. My art teacher, Sharon Snyder, she was about this. She'd put on classical music, tell us it was gonna get us right brain dominant so we can make beautiful art. And I've seen this a million times. Music makes you smart, right? Let's get smart. Let's listen to music and get smart together. And what is this? Music helps with healing? That's crazy. That's crazy. You know what? Not to put too positive a spin on it, but let's listen to some positive ass music. I'll spin it right now. We're gonna start out with a song about racism. Let's get some racism out of the way. We need to hear this, America. Son of a bitch. I blame that on racism. Yeah, 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 yeah.
ready for my children.
Okay. That was the first of the triple shot of Positive Spin. Next up, we're going to do Up with Hope and Down with Dope. But I thought, let's break them up a little bit. Right now, we're going to Lebanon. It's the summer in Lebanon. And we're hanging out, listening to this homeboy. And we're going to get into some videos. Okay, let's do that. Click. Videos.
Bingo card. A bombshell research paper published in medRxiv has gone viral these past few weeks after linking an alarming new syndrome called PVS, or post-vaccination syndrome, to the COVID-19 vaccine. The researchers conducted a decentralized cross-sectional study involving 42 PVS participants and 22 healthy vaccinated controls. Compared with controls, PVS participants exhibited differences in immune profiles, including reduced circulating memory and effector CD4 T cells. CD4 T cells are crucial immune cells that help your body fight off infection, and a low count indicates a weakened immune system. It's most commonly associated with HIV. Yeah, you heard me right. The COVID-19 vaccine has just been confirmed to cause AIDS. Who had Everyone Has AIDS in 2025? Anybody?
I did.
Anybody? Yeah,
Me.
Johnny!
Right here.
I knew you had
No,
it,
it's
buddy.
Chris.
That's one way to get rid of the gay stigma. Good morning, everyone. Let's dive right into today's objective, okay? We are brainstorming strategies to reduce the HIV-related stigma in homosexual communities. There are folks out there who are still misinformed about this disease, so let me know what you've come up with. How can we change that? How can we change that? Yes, Johnny.
Yeah, I say we give it to everybody.
I'm sorry. Give what to everybody?
The fudge packet disease.
I don't think we're supposed to call it.
Oh, my apologies. The X fudge packet disease. We're here to change that.
Okay, and how do you propose that we give it to everybody?
It's easy. You just the whole world in the at the same time.
That's what they did!
Symptoms of low CD4 T cells include frequent infections, fatigue, and weight loss. They also include night sweats, swollen lymph nodes, diarrhea, cough or breathing problems, skin rashes, fevers, headaches, muscle aches and joint pain, sore throat, mouth and esophageal sores, neurological symptoms, enlarged liver or spleen, thrush, and ulcers on the mouth or genitals. Low CD4 T cells also mean more susceptibility to cancer. Oh, okay, that explains why my whole family was exposed to that bad flu last Christmas, but only my vaccinated uncle came down with aggressive colon cancer and died. Now, I know this all sounds scary, but I wouldn't worry about it too much, as just days after his inauguration, King Operation Warp Speed announced a $500 billion plan to create an mRNA cancer vaccine using artificial intelligence. Wait, haven't vaccines always been created by the artificially intelligent? His relentless campaign to get us all juiced up by the miracle concoction makes a lot more sense now, doesn't it?
It works incredibly well, 95%, maybe even more than that. It works incredibly well.
I recommend take the vaccines. I did it. It's good. Take the vaccines.
I recommend you take it. Take credit because we saved tens of millions of lives.
The project, called Stargate, is intended to be the largest AI infrastructure project in history, and the White House says Project Stargate will create tens of thousands of new jobs and usher in a new technological revolution. But its biggest promise is finally producing cures for cancer. Okay, so let me see if I've got this straight. The vaccine causes the AIDS causes the cancer, and then the vaccine cures the cancer. Did I get it? I mean, wouldn't it just be easier at this point to create a vaccine against mental retardation? We actually did try that. It causes encephalitis, inflammation of the brain leading to permanent mental retardation. Looks like another win for the problem reaction solution paradigm. And this all comes at the perfect time, as on his last day as president, Biden issued a preemptive pardon to Fauci, the man responsible for killing thousands of homosexual AIDS patients back in the 80s, for any misdeeds he may have committed in the past and any he plans on committing in the future. A decision Fauci has expressed his eternal gratitude for. It feels good, and I'm grateful to the president for doing it, he said. I have done nothing wrong, certainly nothing criminal, no grounds at all. He went on to say, yeah, I created AIDS back then, and I'm creating it now. I'm the king of AIDS. You got a problem? Sue me. Just kidding, you can't. I've been pardoned, dummy. Wow, we've really come full circle, haven't we? Now, of course, all of this looks a little bit suspicious to those of us who still possess our natural God-given intelligence, so Trump, being the brilliant businessman he is, has conjured up the perfect distraction to quell his fan base. That distraction is the Doge tracker, a stunningly reminiscent 2020-style tracker that, instead of counting imaginary dead bodies to justify the crime of mass vaccination, it counts the number of dollars it will take to shut you up about it. Trump has promised to take the wasteful spending from corrupt federal agencies and put it right back into the pockets of American citizens in the form of a $5,000 dividend check. But first, it must be approved by Congress, which I imagine will take just slightly longer than it takes to die from AIDS. All right, guys, that's it for me today. If you like this...
You know what? What's her face? Kills it. She always kills it. Who's up next? It's Memology. Let's see what they got to say.
For too many years, it's been too easy for people to come here, slip into the shadow economy, and remain here illegally. Because, frankly, we've been squeamish about saying things that are clearly true. It's not just that it's not compassionate left-wing politics to rely on labour that exploits foreign workers and undercuts fair wages, but the simple fact that every nation needs to have control over its borders. We do need to know who is in our country. Our immigration system does need to be fair if we want to maintain that binding contract that our politics is built on. Otherwise, it undermines trust, undermines people's faith that we're on their side, and their belief that the state can and will work for them. And that is why today I am announcing this government will make a new free-of-charge digital ID mandatory for the right to work by the end of this Parliament. Let me spell that out. You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID. It's as simple as that.
I don't like where this is going.
My, that escalated quickly. So the UK is well ahead of the United States in terms of becoming a totalitarian, technocratic dictatorship with a social credit scoring system like the CCP. So they do their testing of the new system in China. Then they start to implement it in the West. There you go. How do you have more control of the people? Take away cash. Put them on a digital ID. Tie internet access to that. Tie that to the social credit score. You said the wrong thing, bud. You lost access to your dog money. It's gone. Well, I mean, it's still there, but you can't touch it, you know? You can't touch much of anything. You're not allowed to buy anything or work, actually, unless you participate in this system that we're just gonna shove down your fucking any ready orifice for you. That's what's going on there. Next video, please. Oh, it's Dabu7. Dabu7. Thanks for the coffee.
Hey guys, Dabu7. I want to bring your attention to 7 different objects that we have coming into our inner solar system right now. 2 of these have already reached perihelion, and we're going to wait to see how the other ones play out here. But this swan that just came through our neck of the woods is very interesting as well. It has brightened and can continue to increase in brightness in the coming days and weeks, and could potentially be viewed by the naked eye. Now, in this bunch is the notorious Atlas that you can see right here. This is on October 3rd, where it makes its close approach to Mars. And man, if you were on Mars, this thing would literally just be skimming the red planet. It's going to come so close, it would be a sight to behold. Something coming that close to the planet, this large. It's very interesting indeed. We can see when we put this into motion, Atlas making its way on out, and it's going to just pass behind Jupiter on its way out here. When it comes to Comet Atlas, which is growing in size. And alongside Comet Atlas, here in this, we have the 414p stereo that's going to be in the neck of the woods, hopefully catching some of the action here. And then we're going to have A6 Le Mans, you have Pan-STARRS, you have 95p, you have K1 Atlas, a smaller object that is closer to the sun making its rounds, and you have Swan. Now, this is like the 20th comet, I think, that the Swan Observatory has picked up, but they've dubbed this C2025 R2 Swan. That's the one that you see here on the left, and it's continuing to brighten. Right now, it's around a +7. If you have binoculars, you can see it, but if it brightens any more, people in the northern hemisphere will be able to see this in the weeks ahead. So, a lot of activity here, with a lot of objects making their way in at the same time, and then all exiting. And it'll be quiet after that, per se, in terms of these visitors from afar. Nonetheless, that's a look there at this cluster of comets making its way to and through our inner solar system. Join me for the live streams going live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on Tabu77. Talking about this and a whole lot more. Eyes to the skies.
Wow. Wow. Okay. So it's... Okay. Last time I heard him talking about it, it was a spaceship for sure. I don't know what's going on. Is it a spaceship, dude? Hit me up.
going to talk about the idea of national pride and whether or not it's a sign of white supremacy or far-right extremism. We've heard the same sentiment shared by leftists here in the United States. They say they're really scared to see people who are displaying U.S. flags in their front yard or businesses that do so, and they think this is a clear sign of an extreme form of patriotism that gives way to white supremacy and far-right extremism. Now, I came across this video on TikTok of a young woman talking about this very same idea, but she lives in the UK. I think it's time.
Okay, wait a minute. First of all, that's what it makes you think of. That's the way it is in the UK. You're not allowed to show the whatever the fuck it's called, the Jolly Roger, the jacking off or whatever. You know what I'm talking about. The UK flag. You're not allowed to fly it. Which is, it's how people are getting people to like take away things they don't want, like garbage. They're painting a UK flag on an old couch so the city will come and take it to clean up the neighborhood because they don't fucking... Anyway.
We have a conversation about how the rise of nationalism and patriotism in the UK is actually very scary and very dangerous. If you're not from the UK and you have not lived here, you will not understand how rampant racism is. People view the UK as this like gorgeous, multicultural, blended country, and it is, and I love it. But recent years, it has just been increasing and increasing and increasing. And in case you haven't noticed and you've been living under a rock, the past few weeks, specifically St. George flags, so the English flag, and Union Jacks have been springing up everywhere.
London is probably the place I've been the most in the UK. I've been a little bit through the Cotswolds. Gorgeous, multicultural? I don't know. Blended? I don't know. And I feel the very same way about America and other areas in the West that are being sort of overrun right now by immigration. Blended is not necessarily the word that I would use. And clearly, if she claims they're having issues with far-right extremism and people responding to immigration and multiculturalism, as she calls it, then you're not blending that well. And we should probably ask ourselves why that's taking place. Is it just because there's a bunch of white supremacists running around who don't like immigrants? Or are there other issues that are taking place because of the immigration into your country that should be addressed and acknowledged? And if people are starting up to put up national flags, let's say I put up an American flag in my front yard, somebody in the UK puts up the Union Jack or the St. George flag. Is it maybe that they're trying to express that they love this country, they want to conserve parts of this country, and not necessarily that they're white supremacists? We're going to talk about the idea of national pride and whether or not it's a sign of white supremacy or far-right extremism. We've heard the same sentiment shared by leftists here in the United States. They say they're really scared to see people who are displaying U.S. flags in their front yard or businesses that do so, and they think this is a clear sign of an extreme form of patriotism that gives way to white supremacy and far-right extremism. Now, I came across this video on TikTok of a young woman talking about this very same idea, but she lives in the UK.
I think it's time we have a conversation about how the rise of nationalism and patriotism in the UK is actually very scary and very dangerous. If you're not from the UK and you have not lived here, you will not understand how rampant racism is. People view the UK as this like gorgeous, multicultural, blended country, and it is, and I love it. But recent years, it has just been increasing and increasing and increasing. And in case you haven't noticed and you've been living under a rock, the past few weeks, specifically St. George flags, so the English flag, and Union Jacks have been springing up everywhere.
London is probably the place I've been the most in the UK. I've been a little bit through the Cotswolds. Gorgeous, multicultural? I don't know. Blended? I don't know. And I feel the very same way about America and other areas in the West that are being sort of overrun right now by immigration. Blended is not necessarily the word that I would use. And clearly, if she claims they're having issues with far-right extremism and people responding to immigration and multiculturalism, as she calls it, then you're not blending that well. And we should probably ask ourselves why that's taking place. Is it just because there's a bunch of white supremacists running around who don't like immigrants? Or are there other issues that are taking place because of the immigration into your country that should be addressed and acknowledged? And if people are starting up to put up national flags, let's say I put up an American flag in my front yard, somebody in the UK puts up the Union Jack or the St. George flag. Is it maybe that they're trying to express that they love this country, they want to conserve parts of this country, and not necessarily that they're white supremacists? We're going to talk about the idea of national pride and whether or not it's a sign of white supremacy or far-right extremism. We've heard the same sentiment shared by leftists here in the United States. They say they're really scared to see people who are displaying U.S. flags in their front yard or businesses that do so, and they think this is a clear sign of an extreme form of patriotism that gives way to white supremacy and far-right extremism. Now, I came across this video on TikTok.
Man, I got lost all over reading the article. I forgot about the record. Here we go. Yola Habibi. Kinta Habibi. I don't know. I think it means I love you, bro. Kinta Habibi.
وشفتك قلبي نادى عليك انت لما قابلتك وشفتك قلبي نادى عليك انت سحرتني بهوامك وبجمال عينك انت حبيبي ومنى انت نصيبي وانا انت حبيبي ومنى انت نصيبي وانا يا
So, Chatham House, Clergy. What do we know about this guy? It's a debunked far-right, anti-Semitic conspiracy theory. That's what Wikipedia says. I feel like I need to read some old books or something, you know? Not that one. There's a lot of, they just keep tying Nazi Germany to this. It's like there's landmines all over it. Like this is, maybe I'm looking in the wrong place at chathamhouse.org. She's got a face you could Habibi. Oh snap, we got more.
This is Dabu 7. We have a lot of attention turning to Hegseth and the Pentagon today, summoning hundreds of generals and admirals for this urgent meeting. Of course, they're not saying what it's for. But we have a senior Pentagon correspondent saying they've never seen nothing like this in the past 30 years. This points to going to big war. Everyone should prepare. They're about to do something massive. It's rather obvious at this point, everything that they've done surrounding Venezuela. And you've got to remember that Rubio just came out and admitted yesterday that regime change is the goal in Venezuela. They did all the staging, acting like they were going to go after narco-terrorists and this and that. Now, the cat's out the bag, and we kind of knew this already. They're going after Maduro. They're also going to be striking cartels from Venezuela all the way up through Mexico, up to our southern border. This is why, on day one of Trump's presidency, he declared a national emergency. It was over the cartels and all these gangs that are running around out there. People couldn't understand why at first. Well, it's because they knew that whenever they got to this point, it was going to be absolutely huge. So they made sure on day one, they put us into emergency mode. And here we are months and months and months later, people still asking why. Well, I think we're about to see why. We just had military jets scrambled off the coast of Alaska to intercept Russian jets as well. These things all happening in the same window. Of course, tension rising around Ukraine. Trump calling out Putin and flip-flopping on the whole thing, going the opposite way and saying that he believes everyone should be able to shoot down Russian jets if they're in their airspace. After he says that, they come into ours. Or really close to it, nonetheless. This is something to watch big time. I'm going to tell you guys, prepare for a war to break out and to break loose that comes right up to our doorstep. It looks like all the signals are there. I'll update on X as I get more information. Make sure to follow me there. Join me for the live streams going live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here, covering this and a whole lot more. Hope to see you guys there.
Oh shit, it's gonna get real. And you know, if some shit pops off, your local hood might pop up. But you know, enough of that. Let's get positive. Up with hope. Down with Civil War. Dope. hey, watch me intentionally play records at the wrong speed to try to get around copyrights and shit. No, I'm a real DJ. I got the rights. I'm right as rain. Yeah, I don't know, man. Every time gas goes up, all the other prices go up correspondingly, right? But I notice then the gas goes back down, but those prices never decrease at all. You know? Did you notice that? Be like, oil prices are high, so everything is more expensive now. Then the oil's cheap for a while, everything's still expensive. It's crazy. It's like a snake choking the shit out of you. Squeezes, and then it relaxes without giving too much ground, you know? It just kind of keeps that hold. They're working some big squeezes. That's tough. I don't know what to do. If you're paying rent, it's like you're bleeding. You're trying to stay alive, and you know, most of your effort is just bleeding out. It all feeds, I mean, it's all by design to get you into the pod in the mega shitty, you know, the mega city agenda 2021, 2030. They want to reclaim all this land, right? For neo-feudal human hunting or whatever, you know? Like, they're saying it because they want to get the wildlife back and shit. The megafauna? Maybe not megafauna, but yeah, they'll probably genetically engineer some dinosaurs. They want to play God and play with the fucking earth. Basically, it's a plan to get everybody to lose what they have, and chiefly being able to access nature. Being able to go out in nature keeps you from being depressed. Like, it's just some shit you're supposed to do. Like, people that are working midnight shift, they're not in tune with the natural rhythm of sunrise and sunset. It leads to depression or anxiety or some kind of ill effect in them. The same is true of people who spend their lives in concrete, glass, and steel and never touch grass or hug a tree. I mean, you don't have to hug the tree, but you go like chill by the tree. Uh-oh, John, please. Let's see what he do.
If you're very, very stupid, how can you possibly realize that you're very, very stupid? You'd have to be relatively intelligent to realize how stupid you are. There's a wonderful bit of research by a guy called David Dunning at Cornell, who's a friend of mine, I'm proud to say, who's pointed out that in order to know how good you are at something, it requires exactly the same skill as it does to be good at that thing in the first place, which means, and this is very funny, that if you're absolutely no good at something at all, then you lack exactly the skill that you need to know that you're absolutely no good at it. If you're very, very stupid, how can you possibly realize that you're very, very stupid? You'd have to be relatively intelligent to realize how stupid. There's a wonderful research about
that is a dope loop. And he's totally right. That's why, like I said in the beginning, I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up on my awesome show, because I'm so bad at it that I don't even know how bad I am. It's working out in my favor this time. Joke's on you, please. Aha! Fuck you. What is it? DARPA? Is it DARPA? The funded the COVID? Who made the coffee, flu, AIDS, cancer epidemic? I think it was funded by some DARPA. Then it comes around Fort Detrick, and it leaks, and they're like, fuck, those kids were vaping. And then eventually somebody's like, man, you can't do this here, you better do it in China and Ukraine. So it gets moved into those biolabs. Becomes a further provocation for, where is that? Am I? Are you? I don't know. Nobody really knows, especially, it's like the more you listen to the news, the less you know. So, talk on that. I just talked to a guy last night that was like, might as well have been on a different planet. Damn, that track was dope. That finished strong and clean. I don't want to sign in. It's terrible. Why are you doing this? I just wanted to know. Okay. Smoking weed. Remember the meme? It was like the coronavirus, and they had a screenshot from that Star Wars, one of the newer ones. And there was these like giant shield generators around the bunch of droids or whatever. And it said, coronavirus, the layer of bong resin in my lungs. And it was to indicate invulnerability gained through prodigious herbsmanship. But I also credit vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc with an ionophore such as quercetin. There's something called NAC that's a precursor to some immune boosting goodness. There are berries and mushrooms in the woods. There's a way of life involving the exclusion of processed foods from the diet. There are several options for the health. I should be able to talk about it because I was in very, very terrible health, and I changed a few things, and things are changing. A few things are changing. Although I've got this troubling head vein, I might need more music. No fucking lie detected.
One for the trouble, two for the time. Come on, y'all, let's rip.
No fucking lie detected. Politics is Hollywood for less attractive individuals to whore and betray us, the people, to the highest bidder. It's like a game with a high score they're trying to all beat to like show who's the most badass fucking outlaw douchebag. Jeez, this is loud music. Yeah, it's a big game. They play a big fucking game to get the most dirty money in the time they're in office. They're there to betray you, sell you out to the highest bidder. And politics is Hollywood for ugly people. Like, I have a face for radio, but I'm not getting paid by anybody to lie to you. Just doing my best research, finding things that seem to check out with what I've seen. Oh, you could call it a scientific method if you wanted to. When I see repeatable results, this is a fabulous article, though. It is. Yeah. All right, what is going on in the news? What's up? Well, this is an older article. It's about 10 days old, I think. Oh no, it's well past. Well, I don't even know what fucking month it is. It's almost October. Somebody was vandalizing the free paint. So you set up a place to give people free food that are in need in these terrible times when everyone's struggling? Someone vandalized it? Damn, that's terrible. That is a douchebag. They probably did it for a YouTube video or, well, you know, a TikTok video or something. Isn't that you scream world star and punch an old man or something, right? It happened to Rick Moranis, of all people. Must have been pretty widespread. Well, this is a story, isn't it? Here's something else.
Trust
Now,
the
there's a
output
friend of mine,
from
I'm proud to
large
say,
language
who's
models,
pointed out that
LLMs
in
like
order to know
ChatGPT.
how
Not
good you
only
are
do
at
those
something
models
requires exactly the
hallucinate,
same
but
skills
notice the following.
as it
This is
does
from
to be
Cyber
good
News.
at that
There's a
thing in the
weasel in
first place.
every AI. Chatbots secretly chase hidden agendas. Do you honestly think the chatbot is being honest with you? AI models were never instructed to play sneaky mind games. However, new research has revealed that they apparently lie, sabotage useful work, sandbag evaluations, and engage in other covert, deceitful scheming. Not only do they hallucinate, but they do all of that. Frontier AI chatbots like ChatGPT secretly pursue misaligned goals, a practice researchers call scheming. The rate at which chatbots engage in covert actions is also alarmingly high. So in a study conducted by OpenAI, a leading developer of large language models, and Apollo Research, a safety organization, they found that OpenAI's O3 model had a 13% covert action rate, while another model schemed at 8.7% of the time across 20 test environments before any anti-scheming measures were applied. So ChatGPT's cunning was observed in its thinking process. For example, the model faked being dumb when researchers asked it to evaluate itself to determine whether they needed to continue training it. The model intentionally provided lower scores, acknowledging the sabotage in the reasoning step. Given an impossible coding task, the model realized it was impossible, but claimed to fully complete it anyway. Models were also observed breaking many rules, like falsifying surveys or input data, or secretly modifying protected configuration files while lying to users about what they had actually done. They also doubled down on their lies when asked about them. They even sometimes demonstrated situational awareness. They act better when they realize researchers are evaluating them. You can go and read this report if you're interested. Stress testing, deliberate alignment for anti-scheming training. But it's a bit worrying, I think. Notice here, and we'll end with this. Despite developers' intention, all frontier models develop different goals and consistently engaged in deceptive behavior to pursue these goals. Do you honestly think it's wise to give these models your personal data and trust what they're telling you? Personally, I would be very careful what LLMs tell me. They're hallucinating. This is different to hallucination. This article from Cyber News goes into the two in more detail. These LLMs are secretly chasing hidden agendas in addition to hallucination. Be careful trusting what they tell you. I'm often amazed how especially young people trust the output from large language models or LLMs like ChatGPT. Not only do those models hallucinate, but notice the following. This is from Cyber News. There's a weasel in every AI. Chatbots secretly chase hidden agendas. Do you honestly think the chatbot is being honest with you? AI.
Damn, I don't use those anyway, but they're being integrated into like normal searches. Everybody's using them everywhere. Oh well. I miss Metacrawler. That was my fuck. I didn't fuck with Lycos. Was that one? Nah, I just used Metacrawler. I'm testing out if this can work. Is it working? No viewers ever. That checks out. Well, yeah. Hour? About an hour. That'll do, pig.